Alright, so today we're going to be tying a woolly bugger. So we have a Daiichi 2220 hook. You use pretty much any long shank hook you want. We're going to do a bead head version of the woolly bugger. So we have here just a small brass bead. We're going to put on the brass beads. They'll have a large and a small opening on them. It's just basically to make it easier to get it over the hook bend. You're going to want the small opening, the small bead opening goes up towards the eye of the hook. So get that on there, we'll attach our thread. Get a nice little base going. The woolly bugger is probably the first fly the majority of people learn to tie. It's a pretty easy fly to learn, and it covers a lot of the techniques that you'll use later on for other flies. So it's a good one to start off with. So we're gonna attach a tail. We just have some black marabou here. So just pull off a little chunk of that. Work that in there. Generally you want your tail right around the length of your hook shank. A little larger, a little smaller is fine. So just pinch that down there. Get that down nice and secure. And then you can trim off your excess here. Next step will be to attach your hackle. We have here a black select saddle hackle, which we will trim up here. Fluff out the feathers a little bit. So when I attach mine, I like to trim up the hackles and kind of leave, don't trim them all the way up to the stem. Kind of leave something for the thread to hook onto. So get that wrapped in there. And we have some black chenille we're going to lay down for the body. Same step here. If you leave this tag end, you run that all the way up, it'll kind of even out the body. So we'll wrap that guy up here. Basically, you just want your wraps just touching each other. You don't have to really crank on it or anything either. Just kind of nice light tension. Spin that up all the way up there to the bead, and when you get up here, you just bring your thread forward, or your chenille forward in front of your thread, and then just wrap over the top here. And 2 to 3 turns is good to secure that down. Trim there. Be careful not to cut your thread. Now the next step will be we're gonna do the same thing with the saddle hackle here. So just take some hackle pliers if you want, and just attach those to the tip. And you can kind of fluff that feather out a little bit, makes it spin in nicely. And then you can basically just determine how bushy you want it by how closely you make your wraps. So yeah, just spin this on forward. The woolly bugger is a great fly. Easy to tie, quick to tie, and works in just about nearly any situation. You can tie them really big for salmon, steelhead, and bass, or you can go smaller for your trout and panfish. The black's a great color. Olive's good. Purple's good. Put a little hot head on it, make it kind of a little egg sucking bugger. Trim that off of there. Add a few more wraps up here at the top. Put a 1/2 inch in. And whip finish. And then we can trim our thread off if you want. You can add a little dab of head cement in there. Just be careful not to get it in the hackles, but generally, as long as you've whip finished correctly, your fly will hold up pretty well even without it. So it's up to you how you want to do it. And that's a completed woolly bugger.